technically won the championship. Ferguson, can you blame the man for going out of his mind?
We're back and we're heading to the capital for our opening game of the brand new football season. Tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock, we take on Hearts at Tynecastle. Just to confirm, because the club only in the past couple of minutes have put out a tweet basically saying they're looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow at Tynecastle, despite the concerns of a major storm hitting Scotland tomorrow. If the game does go ahead, kick-off in Edinburgh is at 8 o'clock in the evening. Absolutely cannot wait. Buzzing to be back. How you doing? A very warm welcome to a brand new looking preview show here on Ali Beg ABTV. Everything that you see tonight is fresh and new, thanks to you guys. I'll explain a little bit more a little bit later. But first, let's just clear up what's going on tomorrow, because a storm is due to hit Scotland tomorrow. The Evening Express have already put out a small article online saying that trains in the north and the northeast of Scotland after 12 o'clock will not be running due to concerns about high winds, very high winds. I have spoken to a couple of pals who currently live in Edinburgh. They're expecting heavy rain and they are expecting very heavy winds tomorrow. So the only concerns really are for those of you who are going to travel, because if there are high winds, they will probably close the bridge. So you may have to seek alternative means of travel tomorrow. So just keep an eye out for that. But as I've just said, in the past couple of minutes, the club have just put out a really nice tweet, basically, or a nice post, whatever you want to call it these days. We're all looking forward to the start of the new football season with a really beautiful montage looking back on our cup win, the lads training, and looking forward to seeing you all at Tynecastle tomorrow. So they obviously don't have any major concerns about the game going ahead tomorrow. Otherwise, I doubt they would have put the post out. So we have a lot to get through to tonight. This will be an extended preview show. So let me tell you what's coming up. Going to be talking very shortly to Andrew Budge, ABTV's own analyst, who is going to be looking forward to the football season, and he's going to be discussing with me where we hopefully will be, where we are still a little bit weak, and what his hopes are for the season. I'm also speaking to former referee and SFA delegate Neil Waters, because there are some rule changes which will be introduced. Now, I don't know if you noticed it today during the SPFL games, where the referee was putting his hand up in the air and he was counting down the goalkeeper. We'll explain all of that a little bit later. And also, I'm delighted to welcome to the show again Aberdeen Football Club Fans Project Chairman Andy Forbes, who's going to be giving us an update on all the projects which the club are looking to do this coming season. And I'm sure you are aware, so far, considering it was their first season last season, they have done a truly astonishing job. So we'll be chatting to Andy a little bit later as well. And the usual bits and pieces. And give me your feedback. Tell me what you think about the new style, because we've got new style graphics and all that sort of stuff. So I am looking forward to seeing your thoughts on that. Squad numbers have been confirmed by the football club. Interesting that there's a few in there. For example, the one that really caught my eye, Dante Polvara, in at number 8. I really hope Dante gets a sniff, more of a sniff, this season. I'm going to give you my predicted team in a minute, and I'm kind of doing myself a disservice here because I've not actually put him in my starting 11. But I think Dante will have a major influence. Other interesting names that stick out, Ryan Duncan in at 23. There are obviously some injury concerns ahead of the game tomorrow as well. Christos Tobers is out. He's going to be out for a while, as is our new signing, Emmanuel Guiamfe. He's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks. So there are some issues about that. Now, don't forget, tomorrow, UEFA Europa League third round qualifying draw. There are 24 teams that we could potentially still play. These are just a number of those teams. Don't forget that there are still games to be played up until the 14th of August. But the draw is being held in Nyon in Switzerland tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central European time, which is 10 o'clock in the morning UK time. So we will find out who we will play in the third and final qualifying round for the Europa League. First game is on the 21st of August, which is my birthday. And I'm kind of hoping for a home game. Because if we get a home tie, I'm coming home. I'm going to celebrate my birthday at home, and I'm coming home to watch the Dons. So, listen, whoever we pull out the hat in the draw tomorrow, we all know it's going to be a very difficult 2 games. If we don't get through, we go down into the Conference League group stages. So we're guaranteed European football, group stage football for next season with at least a prize pot of €5 million. And obviously that could be added to depending on win bonuses, draw bonuses, all that sort of stuff. So, team news to get going. Right, this is what I'm predicting for tomorrow. Tin hat on. Dimitar in goal. I'm going to go with Alexander at right back. Shinza, the skipper, at left back, with Mats Knuster and Alfie Dorrington in the middle. To patrol just in front, Sivert Heltner Nielsen. Then I'm going to go in the middle with Antti Palaversa and Leighton Clarkson, maybe just playing in the number 10 role. Over on the right, I'm going with Nicholas Milanovic. Over on the left, I'm going with Topi Keskinen, with Kusini Yengi playing up top. So I'm going to go with the usual 4-2-3-1 formation. That's what I think the manager will do tomorrow. Of course, get in touch and let me know what you think the team will be tomorrow, because as I've just said, there are a number of players who could get a shout. Achichi, the new lad, could maybe play in the Leighton Clarkson role. Dante could maybe come in for Palaversa. Who knows? Right, just let me start adding some stuff to the timeline, because as I said, we have an awful lot to get through this evening. So don't forget, get in touch. Tell me how you're feeling ahead of tomorrow's game. If you have any updates from the weather, just get in touch. If you see anything on the news, please get in touch and let us know. It's really important, because what we don't want to do is obviously let folk travel when there's obviously going to be very dangerous conditions. Right, we're almost done. Just one more little item to go in there, and then we can really start cracking on with the show. Right, let's get that in there. Okay, brilliant. Right, I'll bring you guys on in just a moment, but first, let's get the thoughts of the manager, Jimmy Tillin, who spoke to the press on Friday.
I think I don't need to say so much. I think the players lived it and feel it, and I think this even before we win in the cup, this togetherness we have created with our fans, and we have some hard times, as you said, last season, but the supporters were there, and I think I hope that's a good journey we have to make this. We have in mind, we talk about this 3 years plan, and then we have done this 3, we have to move on again. But we have an imagination in our head where we want to be after 3 years, and now we're in the second season, and we're still growing and try to improve every season. So I think this electric atmosphere and also this historical club, there was, it's not so many times maybe in your career you can have these emotions. But you always have to be hungry to live it again. So that the passion and the drive inside the club is, of course, this cup win will help with that for sure.
Thank you, Jimmy. Now, as always, Ali Beg AB TV is brought to you and sponsored by Saltai Energy, the global market leader in specialist drilling equipment rental. But not just that, they do torquing, testing, refurbishment, and welding as well. If you require any of those services in the oil and gas industry, please get in touch with me, and then I will put you in touch with those at Saltai Energy, who have been my sponsors now for a number of years, and I'm delighted to say they've come back for another term. So many thanks to Mike Logie and to Craig Cameron, who have been looking after me for a number of years now here on Ali Beg AB TV. Right, let's just get some of your thoughts on. And before we bring you the match stats, because that'll be the next thing that we do. But first, let's just see how you're doing. Right. So Steve Williamson came on and said, "Hi Ali, great to have you back for the start of the new season. Me and my son Mike are absolutely buzzing for the season and hoping for at least one great Euro away day. Keep up the great work." Thanks, Steve. John Grant is here. Hi all, can't wait to see your team pick Ali. What did you think, John? Only certainty is Mitov in goal. Plenty of players to pick from, so hopefully we can get a winning combination. Do you think 3 at the back and 2 wing backs? John came back to say, "I really have my doubts if the game will actually go ahead though, as if travel is not recommended and trains are not running. The sensible thing is to postpone." David Horn is on, wishing you all a good evening, as is Hugh Burns. Hello Hugh, how are you? He says, "Massive concerns in the striking department. Even the most ardent happy clapper must agree. I just hope the game gets postponed and we can play them when we're better prepared." Interesting thoughts. Andrew will tell you his thoughts on that in just a moment. Colin Gale says, "I hate being a killjoy, but if it is high winds and rain tomorrow, I would not mind if the game is called off. It's a lottery in those conditions." Grey Pilgrim says, "Good evening, fellow Scottish Cup winning dandies. Let's get a win in Edinburgh for a change. Really want to see what Emmanuel gives us. He's an excellent prospect." Thank you for your team, Hugh. Ryan Ellington says, "Good evening, Ali and fellow dandy. Start with the disappointing match against Ipswich Town." Ryan, honestly, don't think too much into that fella. I have no issue about that game at all. Me, my parents and my uncle at Pittodrie were all very disappointed with Aberdeen and Shayden Morris and the new players' performance. It's just a friendly. But I get your point, mate. You know, you pay your money to go. I absolutely get that. Gordon Keith Ritchie says, "Good evening all, great to be back. Hopefully the game goes ahead, weather permitting. Need to get a good start, but it won't be easy as Tynecastle is never an easy place. I think we've not won there in a while." Well, if you hang on just a second, Gordon, I'll tell you exactly the last time we won there. Cameron Young says, "I'm home from hospital and recovering well. Good to hear, Cameron. Well done, fella. Looking forward to the game tomorrow night, and hopefully, if it goes ahead due to the weather, hopefully we can get a few more players in." Hugh Burns says, "Despite winning the cup, I'm concerned that we still have a soft centre, weak mentally and physically. Will take GT a few more windows to oust the weak." Fraser Gunn is here. "Greetings, everyone. Buzzing for the start of the new season," he says. Excuse me. As is Neil Sinclair. "How is everybody? I'm fully buzzing for the start of the new season." Roddy Keenan is here, wishing you all a good evening. As is the Mad Ferret. Keith McDonald says, "Evening, dandies. Looking forward to another roller coaster ride of a season." Right, we'll come back to all of those in just a moment. In the meantime, here are your match stats. So, Aberdeen's last win against Hearts at Tynecastle came way back in 2017 when we won 2-1 thanks to goals from Adam Rooney and Anthony O'Connor. Since then, the side playing at home has lost none of the past 23 Scottish Premiership matches played between the two sides. Aberdeen, though, have only lost on the opening day in 2 of their past 10 league campaigns, winning 5 and drawing 3. The referee tomorrow is Nick Walsh. On VAR is Kevin Clancy. 2017. Unbelievable. Right, I'm now going to introduce to you... Why does my camera keep doing that? It really annoys me. That's something I'm going to have to fix. So I'm really sorry that my camera continues to freeze like that. It's something I'm going to have to fix. So I'm going to introduce to you a gentleman called Neil Waters. Neil is a former professional referee, SFA delegate, and Neil and I discussed a couple of days ago a couple of the new rule changes which have been introduced to the SPFL. And if you were watching the games earlier today, you may have seen the referee raising his arm and counting down with his fingers. So if you're not a fan of that new rule, Neil and I discuss just that. So welcome back to the show, former referee, Neil Waters. Hi Neil, thank you so much for jumping on. It's really good to see you again. Are you keeping fine?
It's all good here in the northeast, so yeah.
Good man. Right, so we're going to discuss a couple of these rule changes. The first one that I want to discuss with you is the drop ball situation. So it states that previously, whoever was in possession of the ball when it struck the referee received a drop ball. It will now be the team who would have gained possession if it had not struck the official. Any drop ball in the box goes to the goalkeeper. So can you just explain that a little bit better for us? Because I think this potentially could open a can of worms.
Yeah. So, I mean, my understanding of the rule as it's coming in is that if, for instance, a pass is played by a defending player and it hits the referee's got to make a decision at the time as who was going to get the ball. Was the pass going to reach the teammate or was it going to be intercepted? So again, if he thinks it's going to reach his teammate, then they're going to retain possession and then get the drop ball. However, if he thinks the ball is going to get cut out, then he's also going to give the drop ball to the attacking team. For me, I mean, obviously, I don't know how it's going to be implemented for real when we see things going in the SPL, but it seems to me that opens up a bit of a can of worms for the referee, who's already under a lot of pressure in a football match. He's now going to have to, give an idea of where the ball's going to go and who's going to get possession of the ball. I'd imagine he'll get help from the assistants and the fourth official through the earpiece to make that decision. But yeah, it's another decision, I think, for the referee that perhaps it's a bit more pressure on him.
I can't help but think, Neil, that there will be occasions where, as we all know the game, he's going to have to guess.
Yes.
And no referee should have to guess. And I don't think that's fair on the referee.
Yeah, I mean, obviously from a referee perspective, I would certainly, that would be my feeling. I don't want to speak out of turn and say anything that's maybe controversial, but the referee will probably favour the defending team if he's not sure for obvious reasons. But yeah, it's hard to see how it's going to be implemented properly. There's going to be a situation where it's going to be subjective and down to a matter of opinion, like a lot of things are, to be fair. It just seems to be another thing for the referee to have to, another pressure point.
Yeah.
We all know what's going to happen. There's going to be a situation where it's going to be subjective. The media are going to get all over it, and something's going to happen, and before you know it, it's on the front page of every paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, it does seem like another pressure for the referee. I think it sounds a bit unfair, but again, there's him, there's the fourth official, and there's two assistant referees as well. So, there's a team there to try and get the right decision. So hopefully, any subjective one will be minimal.
Okay. All right. The other one that really struck out for me was this new 8-second rule. So it said goalkeepers will now get penalised with a corner awarded against them if they do not release the ball within 8 seconds. An indirect free kick will be awarded if a player attempts to impede or obstruct. So where I'm confused, was there not already a 6-second rule in place?
Yeah, I mean, the rule has always been there, but it's just never been implemented Let's be honest. I mean, we've all seen it. I think I commented last year on certain occasions where the keeper was taking far too long. So it's just, as a referee myself, have I ever penalised a goalkeeper for taking too long on the ball? Absolutely not. I just haven't, and I don't think I've ever seen it in a football match yet. So it's not something that's implemented, but I think when you watch the games, the keeper is taking far too long on the ball. We know that, we can see that. It just causes additional frustrations for the fans. So I think this rule's now come into place. It's in the laws of the game now, where the referee has to count it down. So the onus now is that it will be implemented. There's no hiding place, because the referee does have to count down the last 5 seconds with his hand in the air and count down the seconds. So it's pretty clear it's going to be implemented now. And I think the part about not impeding the goalkeeper is quite crucial, because obviously players will surround the goalkeeper to try and prevent him from getting the ball away early.
Yeah.
That's going to be impeded with a free kick immediately for an indirect free kick because of this 8-second rule being implemented. I think they'll be a lot stronger on it. I think they have to be, because if the 8 seconds is starting pretty much from when he's got possession of the ball, any impediment by an opposing player is going to get penalised.
Okay. So this physical action from the referee with his hand, is he going to show the goalkeeper from 8 seconds, or is he going to show him from like 6 seconds or 5 seconds? How does that work?
No, it's from 5 seconds. So the referee will in his head start his 8-second clock.
Yeah.
And once he's down to 5, he'll put. From what reading, I'm not seeing it implemented yet, but from the laws of the game, it suggests that the referee's going to put his hand in the air and count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Understood.
So
Okay.
it's quite clear to everybody. And it's very important as a referee that yes, you're letting the players know what's going on, but you've got to make sure the fans understand what's going on as well.
Yeah.
Which is why I think, the hand in the air and counting down quite clearly makes it pretty obvious what's going on. And if the keeper takes too long, it's going to be an indirect free kick. Yeah, it's going to be a corner kick. So
okay. Also, quite interestingly, I posted this on my Facebook page yesterday, and former goalkeeper Andrew Geohagan came on and commented about it. And he made a very valid point that if a goalkeeper, say for example at a corner, a goalkeeper goes up, he catches the ball, he goes to ground.
yeah,
Does the 8 seconds start from there? Because usually goalkeepers like to get to the edge of their area, throw the ball out or kick the ball up the park. They're now under a great deal of pressure to do that, to get rid of the ball almost immediately. So I completely understand why Andrew was saying that. Is this rule that's going to be implemented to the rules of the game going to do a disservice to the goalkeeper?
Well, again, it's going to be at the referee's discretion when he starts that 8 seconds. But if you look at the guidelines from the laws of the game and what's been put out, it would certainly suggest that the possession starts when he's got the ball, when it's on the ground, etc. I think the reason it's been made a bit clearer, Ali, is that a lot of times you see referees, if goalkeepers catch the ball on the ground, jump up, fall down, and lie there for 3 or 4 seconds. We've all seen it. It's pointless. So again, it's going to speed it up. The keeper's going to have to make a quick decision to get on his feet and get going. How long does it take for him to get to maybe the byline to the edge of the 18 line to take a kick from hand? It doesn't take a long time, to be fair. So it's 18 yards. They can do it pretty quick. So yeah, so I think if he doesn't ponder about it too long, you can get up and get on with it. And again, I don't think the referees are. I can only speak from on the outside. I don't think the referee's going to be absolutely. As soon as he's got that, that's the 8 seconds starting. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of a second discretion now and again, if especially if he's had to catch a ball and sliding or whatever. So yeah, I just think it'll speed the game. We'll definitely speed the game up, and I don't think it's going to affect the goalkeepers too much. I mean, if they get up and get on with it, I'm quite sure they can make it up to do a kick from hand. What I would say though is, if you're a defending team, you've then got your other players to get out of the box and get ready for the next phase of play. So again, it's not leaving a lot of time. So we'll see how it works, see how it's implemented. But yeah, you'll definitely see it implemented pretty stringently, I would say. Once the 5 seconds are up and the hands in the air, then the keeper's going to have to do something about it.
Yeah. So. Okay. Just to finish off, Neil, I know that it's quite common practice for referees to visit football clubs ahead of the season to discuss with players new rules and what's expected, etc. Is that something that you used to do when you were delegating or when you were a professional referee? And is it still commonplace in the game?
Yeah, well, from when I was an official, I was never going to clubs myself.
Okay.
It tended to be the head of the referee operations that would go out and visit clubs, or it would generally be the clubs were invited in to have a meeting and explain the laws of the game. So quite often that would happen. So the players, representatives of the clubs would come in to Hampden or wherever they would hold it. Sometimes it would be the Orium as well, I think. So, and the head of operations at the referees would run through the rule changes and how they feel it's been implemented, and obviously have feedback, ask questions, and I think we listen to Willie Collum in an interview. They're quite clear that are working hard with the teams. There's been a lot of media, obviously, in the last 12 months again, that is very negative. And some clubs don't help the matters without naming any names. But yeah, they've always worked hard to try and get the clubs involved and try and get them to understand the laws of the game, because it's like players don't understand the laws like referees do, and neither do the fans at times. And that's not meant to be nasty, but the laws of the game are complex, and how they're implemented and how they're understood it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of training. So it's a hard job to then educate people who are not, into that, to make them understand. So they'll tend to go out there, and when they come in, they'll have show clips about this is what we expect a referee to do if this happens, like challenges, etc. So there's a lot of interactive work that goes on, and it's ongoing as well. throughout the season. It doesn't just stop.
Okay.
So.
All right, brilliant. Neil, thank you so much for coming on and explaining everything to us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, let's hope for another good season, Ali.
Yeah, let's hope so, fella. Okay, well, you're certainly dressed for the occasion, that's for sure.
Well, I had to. Yeah, I was going to have the worth the wait T-shirt, but I thought that was going to be pushing it. So
Good man. All right, fella. Hopefully we'll speak to you
Yeah.
very soon.
good man. Thank you, Ali. Cheers.
Cheers, Neil. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you as always, Neil. So just a gentle reminder that I'm also sponsored here on Ali Beg ABTV by the fine folk at Craig International, who are redefining global procurement. They truly are a global procurement house. They will offer all sorts of procurement services for you. And as I said before, if you are looking for any type of services, please get in touch with me and I will put you in touch with them. Nobody across the world does it better than Craig International, with a number of offices based all over the world. They are there for you and your procurement services. Right, let's get back to your comments. Right. Okay, where are we? A few of you have said, you do not want to see Graham Shinnie at left back. Colin Gale, for example, said it's not desirable. Hugh also came on, was not happy about that. I just can't help but think, what I'm doing here is, I should have made it clearer. I'm not predicting the team that I want to play. I'm predicting the team that I think Yimmy will play. Now, I might have got it completely wrong. Probably have. Mostly do. But that's the team that I think he will pick. I just think to accommodate Sivert Nielsen, Palaversa, Achichi, Leighton Clarkson, I think the skipper needs to slip into left back for just now. Now, what that means when Emmanuel gets fit, God only knows. But it's a good headache for the manager to have, let's put it that way. Neil Henderson says, hoping Yengi comes good, not giving me much hope in the couple of pre-season games I've seen him so far. Really need to get on a couple of experienced, proven goal scorers. John Hermsey says, evening folks, great new look Ali. Thank you, John. He can't wait for tomorrow. John Kylo says he's hoping Clarkson isn't playing number 10. So Simon Roy has just come on, and just to reiterating what we said at the top of the show. So trains are not running from midday tomorrow, ScotRail announced earlier today, because of this impending storm that's about to hit Scotland. So if you did make plans to travel by train to Edinburgh tomorrow, forget it. You're going to have to look at rescheduling how you're going to get down to Edinburgh. And also just be aware that there are very heavy winds due, which means more than likely that the bridge will be closed as well. So please have a long, hard think about how you're going to do that. Dave B says, I fear the worst tomorrow. Hearts have started well in the cup game, so confidence will be high. I think our preparations have been too downbeat. James Brown said, we'd love to see Dante featuring in our starting lineup. Has the makings of a star player, but he needs more game time. Paul Hannon says, we'll be watching the game at home tomorrow night as Hearts with the allocation. Well, we all know what we think. Still think we should go for Hale from County. Yeah, it was really disappointing that Hearts did that. What was it, 600, something like that? Great Pilgrim says, Devlin right back, Jensen left back, move Shinnie further forward. So, talking about Graham Shinnie, he's also given his thoughts ahead of our game against Hearts tomorrow. Here's the skipper.
I think the big thing for us this season, away from trophies and silverware, and I think it's consistency for us. Last year we lacked consistency. We were sort of opposite ends of the scale. We were either very, very good or very, very bad, and there was no in between. We started off like a house on fire. We won however many games it was at the start, and then we went on a horrendous run of not winning in about 14 games, which it's so different ends of the scale. We managed to get back on track. We had some great results after that. We go into the top six, we beat Hibs, we put us into the position where we wanted to be fighting, and then we lost the last 4 games of the season. So it was so up and down, and then we go on to win the cup. So the inconsistency was so bad for us last season. So we want to change that. We want to be more consistent. throughout the season. And if we can do that, then it'll be a good season again.
So that's the thoughts of the skipper ahead of tomorrow night's game. Okay, so let's now get Andrew Budge on. So Andrew and I spoke for just under 10 minutes, and we spoke about a number of different topics, including his thoughts on, our new recruits, where he feels we're a little bit lightweight, and where we have to improve this season, particularly on topics that he's picked out from last season. So welcome back to the show once again, Andrew Budge. Hi fella, it's really good to see you. How you doing? How's your summer been?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's in the middle of a Melbourne winter, actually, so very cold. Not quite Aberdeen cold, but yeah, definitely colder than I thought it would be. But yeah, good. Looking forward to getting underway.
Yeah, absolutely. Good man. Thanks for jumping on as always. So we've got lots to talk about today, but first and foremost, there's a real feel-good factor around the football club at the moment. Do you think that's going to rub off going into the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I really hope it does. We've got a really great opportunity to build on the momentum from the cup final. I can't believe that's sort of 2 months already have passed since it, but the feel-good feeling around the club is still there. I definitely feel like we're still on a high from it. But the important thing now is just building on the momentum that we've built, and we need to make sure we capitalise on what we're building here. So, yeah, some good, exciting signings over the summer. I think we've definitely got some room for some more. A little bit concerned that we might be a little bit undercooked with only a couple of games. I think it's 3 pre-season fixtures we've had, and a couple of areas of the squad needing strengthening. But I do like the look of the squad that Yimi's building. So yeah, definitely some positives, and just excited to get underway.
So Cove, Fulham, and then obviously Ipswich last week. I don't think you can read too much into the Cove game, but the Fulham and the Ipswich games, Jimmy said they were really, really good exercises going into the season. What did you make of the Ipswich game?
Yeah, it was an interesting one. I do actually like that we've gone against some really tough opposition in Fulham and Ipswich. Watching Ipswich, you could tell they were a really good team. So it's good to get preparation, particularly for Europe, against teams that are better than us with potentially bigger budgets. I think it's really good experience. It's hard to tell how much to take away from pre-season fixtures, but I did see some encouraging signs from the Ipswich game. I thought we saw a clear emphasis to play out from the back. I thought we did that quite well at points and really sort of invited the press from Ipswich and tried to play through them. I think we did get caught out for, I think it was the first goal. But I think, I don't know if that's really playing out from the back. I just think Shinnie should probably do better there. I think when Palaversa pings the ball around the corner, if that goes to Jensen, he's so good on the ball, he could easily just take possession and just move it on really quickly and sharply. I don't think that's Shinnie's game, to be honest. So maybe it is a little bit of getting caught out playing from the back, but I do think we should be able to just handle that, to be honest. But I did like a lot of what I saw. I thought we pressed Ipswich pretty high, and I thought we kind of went for it, which I liked, and I thought we really competed. First 20 minutes, I thought we were the better team, and it was a little bit of a similar story from last. So then just giving away a silly goal. Second goal as well was a little bit frustrating with Beatov, but I guess it's a bit of rust being shaken off. But yeah, I thought some of the new boys looked sharp. I thought Milanovic looked good. I'm going to struggle with the French guy's names. Aouchiche?
I still don't have a clue how to pronounce this dude's name. Achichi, I got told, or something like that.
I know. So I'll be butchering that all season long. Yeah, I thought he looked really good as well. It's good to see Dorrington back. It's good to see. I thought Povara again looked good when he came on. I really hope we see more of him. But no, it was a really good opportunity just to test ourselves against some decent former Premier League opposition, and I thought we gave them a good go. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that stands us for going into the season.
Where do you think we can improve?
There's definitely a few points, particularly reflecting on the second half of last season. We were discussing this earlier, it was yesterday, I think it was, how our away form was really poor. Looking at, I think it was, and we'd only beaten 3 teams away from home in the league, because 2 of the wins were against Dundee and 2 of the wins were against Ross County, the other one being St Johnstone almost a year ago on the opening day of the season. So beating 3 teams away from home needs to improve drastically and really quickly. Kind of linked to that, I think we need to be a lot harder to beat. I don't know how many times last season we just looked at games and thought we are so easy to play against. A lot of that coming from our vulnerability at set pieces, which again needs to improve. I hope with a sort of full pre-season, and hopefully, I guess we've got new boys in who came in January. We've got whole new defence in January. They've got a whole pre-season. Knooster, Dorrington, Jensen. Hopefully, we should be a lot more secure. We've done a lot of reps of set pieces, how we're going to defend them. I'd like to see us a lot stronger in that front. But yeah, just being harder to beat is what I'd really like to see.
Formation-wise, sorry fella, formation-wise, where do you see that going this season?
It's going to be interesting because I don't know how often we're going to revert to the 5 at the back we saw in the cup final. I feel like the most likely opportunities for that would be away from home against good teams in Europe and potentially Celtic Park or Ibrox.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be as suitable at home against any of those sort of teams, even if it's a decent European club or Rangers or Celtic, because I think there's more impetus to actually attack at home. I'm not sure how that would fare in front of a Pittodrie crowd. If we did really well in the cup final, but we didn't really lay a glove on them for the first 45 minutes, and we nullified them really well. But I just don't know how well that would go down at home if we had 45 minutes of not really advancing forward. So I think formation-wise, I think we're likely still to see a 4 at the back. It'd be interesting to see if it's still 2 anchoring, because we've got lots of options there. I don't think we'll see Kjartason thrown in straight away, but I really like the look of him. I'd like to see more of Polvara, and the Auchish, I think, will play centrally. I'm not sure where Clarkson will fit into this, if it's Clarkson and Palaversa together in the 2. But I think that's the similar formation we'll see for a lot of games, particularly at home. And building on that, I think we just need to be a bit more fluidity in our shape. I don't think we need to be stuck to like a 4-2-3-1 all the time. I think we did this quite well at points last season, where you'd kind of, in possession, you'd go to a 3 at the back, you'd have both our centre backs a bit wider. One of Clarkson or Palaversa would drop a bit deeper, and you're making a 3, and you just get so many more bodies forward. You've got more forward passing options rather than having so many more men sort of side by side passing. You've got less opportunities to do a line breaking pass. Just trying to commit a few men forward, I think, really helps breaking down some tough defences, which we're gonna be up against a lot of the season. And even just making the most of Knooster and Dorrington. I think they're both really good on the ball. We saw Dorrington again against Ipswich, another sort of really good run down the line. He had a great one against Celtic in the cup final. I think it's a real asset that he's got that we need to really... a lot of teams who are up against, who are a bit more defensive minded, will often not press a centre back. So if you've got someone with like the ball carrying ability of Dorrington, I think we really need to make the most of that and try and push him forward and just commit a bit more. So I think overall, I think to summarise, away form needs to be improved. Hopefully, a lot more strong in set pieces and just a bit more creativity, which hopefully some of the new signings will help with.
Hearts on Monday. How do you see it going?
Well, it's always a tough game. I feel like we've got quite a poor record at Tynecastle. It's a bit of a bogey ground.
Yeah. It
feels like whenever we play Hearts, it's just whoever is at home wins. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. They're gonna be right up for it. For it, in front of the home crowd in the league for the first time. Their fans will be up for it, so I think it'll be a really good atmosphere. New boys are going to have to sort of adapt pretty quickly if they're not used to that sort of environment. I think the pitch is like at Tynecastle. They're going to be right on top of the away team. So I think it'll be a really tough game. They've got a lot of match practice under their belt from the group stages. We saw the benefit that can give you last season, just starting the season so well. Gives you a bit of a springboard, gives you lots of games on top of pre-season to be really match fit. So I think Hearts will be really competitive. They're going to want to really build on that momentum that they've got under McInnes right now. But yeah, no, I still think we've still got a really good chance. I really like a lot of our team. It'll be really interesting to see how we line up. But I'd like to go in with some sort of positivity. I don't want to be downbeat the day of the season, but I think we've got a good chance.
Mate, it's been fantastic as always. It's great to see you. Thank you for jumping on, and we're going to see you again for the review show after the Hearts game.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Brilliant. All right, fella. Enjoy your day.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye, mate. Ta-da. Ta-da. Andrew, thank you as always. Just a very gentle reminder that ABTV is also brought to you by Quipco International, who service the oil and gas industry. They have a purpose-built repair facility. Customer-supplied drill pipe and tubulars can be fully cleaned, inspected, repaired and sent out just for your requirements. They don't just do that, but they also manufacture a wide range of fishing equipment as well. And as I said before, if you are looking for any services in regards from Quipco, get in touch. Those are their details. But if it would help, get in touch with me and then I will put you in touch with them. They are based in Abu Dhabi. So if you are based out in the Middle East and you require those sort of services, I could not recommend them highly enough. And as always, thank you to everybody who supports me here on Ali Beg ABTV. Right, we're going to introduce Andy Forbes in just a moment, but before we do that, let's get back to some more of your comments. I'm delighted to see that there's nearly 200 of you on tonight, which is absolutely brilliant. West Coast Dawn said, I'm not confident winning at Hearts with a pragmatic DM in charge. We have a very poor record there. Yeah, as we saw earlier, West Coast not won there since 2017. Musical Box said that he would take a draw tomorrow. Charles Craig says, usual plan for away matches is for team to travel down 24 hours before, so they will be in Edinburgh this evening. Weather will disrupt any plans to work on set pieces, attacking and defending. That's quite right, Charles. So the team will have travelled down tonight. They'll do a wee session in the morning, something nice and light, maybe just to go through some tactical work before making their way to the stadium. Kilted Warrior is here. No need to apologise, fella. Delighted that you made it. Oh, sheesh. That's the boy's name. Oh, sheesh. I'm still not going to remember that. A lot of you are asking to bin zonal marking, which was one of our absolute downfalls. I think, from memory, we had the second worst goals conceded count from set pieces last season. It's absolutely shocking. Hugh Clark says, good evening, sheep. I'll take the draw, but you never know. Musical Box is reminding us that we started like a house on fire last season, but then we burned out. Hugh Burns is asking, maybe it'll be a 3-5-1-1 cup final style formation tomorrow. Yeah, you never know, Hugh. It's actually not a bad shout. The Musical Box says, I don't ever remember you getting the team right, Ali. You're not wrong, fella. You're absolutely not wrong. A lot of you are talking now about Nisbet. But I would love to see him back, I have to be honest, because I think he really started to put in a shift, but I just can't see it. I just can't see it. John... what are we saying? Great Pilgrim is enjoying the guests for tonight. Thank you. What do you think of the new style? Do you like it so far? Have you noticed the red, the wee tint? Did you notice that as well? Right. So the fans project. I was delighted to have caught up with Chairman Andy Forbes yesterday, just to discuss, their plans for the season, how it's all going. And I'm sure that you'll agree that they're doing an absolutely sensational job. I personally think that, Pittodrie has been lifted for some of the TIFOs, and I just think Pittodrie is a brilliant place to be at the moment. I really do. The cup final was hairs on the back of your neck standing up, goosebumps time. So, yeah, I was really pleased to get Andy on. So, as I said, we had a wee chat yesterday. So welcome to the show. Chairman of AFC Fans Project, Andy Forbes. Hi, Andy. It's great to see you. Thank you so much, as always, for jumping on. Are you keeping well?
Doing really well. Thanks, Ali, and thanks again for the invitation to come on.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. No need to thank me. So, we've got a lot to talk about, but how did the event on Friday night go, first of all?
Superb. Really, really good. We weren't the best organised, I'll be honest. We didn't sell it out, which was disappointing. However, we had 50 plus people there.
Great.
We've raised, I don't have the total yet, but Bob Bain, our treasurer, when he was leaving the building, said he thought it was about $3,500.
Oh, brilliant.
So we've got to pay the venue still because they were superb, and that was the other thing. It was bringing a venue in the city that's only open for events now and putting it into use. It's a cracking venue. The Scottish Cup looked very at home there as well. It was good of the club to give us that for a wee while. So yeah, it was a great night, and everybody rallied together. The committee members, Mez, our sport experience manager, he was very instrumental as well. And yeah, it came together very well.
Good. I'm glad you had a good time. Did you get a selfie taken with the Scottish Cup?
I think I've got a few now.
Right, let's talk about what's going on this season. Obviously, we don't need to look too far ahead, but I'm guessing there's going to be quite a number of projects that you guys are going to be looking at this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it might be worth having a recap over last season because obviously that was our first proper season. And I think it went really, really well. There's a lot of highlights. We've had some fantastic TIFO displays. So we've also I think I mentioned this last time, there was a very kind donation from an anonymous person based as an Aberdeen fan based in Norway. He donated 10 season tickets for us to use, and I think there was 17 different organisations that benefited out of that. Basically, 190 people.
Brilliant.
A lot of which either couldn't go or never been to Pittodrie before they've been there. So, Middlefield Community Project, Friends of Anchor, the Community Trust, Bernardo's, Charlie House, Seafine, to mention a few, but it's a long list. So we're delighted to be able to confirm that that same donor has actually we've fed back to him or her the effect of that, and they were very, very humbled.
Great.
And they've renewed the 10 tickets again. So
have they? Amazing.
Yes,
Amazing.
yes, so we've got them for the season. I think looking back, obviously we had Jimmy's first game at Pittodrie. There was a good tifo to acknowledge that. We had Simmy's tribute.
Yeah.
We also made donations to some local causes. The Heavenly Dancers food collection for Seafine. It's some of the ESC guys that have sadly passed away, so it's an annual thing, a fundraiser that we do. So we made a donation to that. We also, very importantly, created history with the first full stadium tifo display ever at Pittodrie, all 4 stands. So that was something. That's obviously takes a lot of organisation, and thank you to all the volunteers that help with that, because obviously it's a massive effort. Every display needs a lot of good willing volunteers. We had the Jimmy Calderwood tribute, which I think was extra special because the Dunfermline fans had their own tribute as well.
Yeah.
We had the Community Trust Day, where we got a banner commissioned for that, which looked really good, and it's reusable. So we do think about these things. We try not to put dates and stuff on because we want to continue to use the same materials. And I think the climax, obviously, the Scottish Cup final. The Ultras Aberdeen that came up with the red wall. I mean, wow. Still can't believe it. I was watching the footage back again last night before the race night, and that made a difference. It really made a difference. And I think I think it was Willie Miller speaking on the radio, actually commenting on it, how many people had said to him, "Wow, that support." And at the time when the team really needed back, the support it got even louder. I mean, it was incredible. But going back to the main thing, the display, and everybody in red, I thought I was so powerful, so well done. So yeah, I mean that would be the highlight of the season for me. And I'm not, Fans Project don't take credit for that. We contributed to that, but that was a collective effort from all different fan groups, and it really came off. It shows the power of what's possible.
Well, I have to be honest, Andy. I think, and you know, I don't speak for any Aberdeen fan, but I think it's fair to say that there is a collective thought that the matchday experience now at Pittodrie is absolutely fantastic. It's helped lift the place. It's helped lift the team. I think it's helped get the team over the line at times. And I just think going to the games now is a lot more fun and a lot more pleasurable. The cup final is it's like nothing I've seen in a long, long time. It was absolutely sensational. And I think the work that you guys are doing is absolutely brilliant. And I think it's being recognised by the manager and by those at the football club. And I think that's really important that you guys are getting the recognition, because I think you deserve it. And you know, I know you're not one to overly blow smoke up your own backsides, but you must be very proud of that it is getting recognised.
Absolutely, and I'm really conscious that I'm here speaking on behalf of it. But I mean, I am only the chairman of the committee. I mean, there's a huge effort goes in, and some of the people who do it week in, week out, and are giving up their own time. It's amazing, and it is a real team effort. It's important to always remember that. And I think again, Stephen McCormack, I call him Mez. The difference he's made is incredible, and he's so passionate about it as well. I mean, at one point with that race night, for instance, I was close to chucking a towel in because there was things going wrong and the sales weren't great, and he just picked me up and said, "Come on, let's get this over the line." And I tell you what, we did, and it was brilliant.
Good. Listen, I've got to ask you while you're on, thoughts ahead of the season? You're looking forward to it? Not long now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm buzzing. I'm going down on Monday night.
Great.
Yeah. So I'm a bit worried. I think there's a lot of players that are. I think we're light. We definitely desperately need a good quality striker. I hope the new guy comes good, but I haven't been that impressed with him so far. But I always like to back an underdog. He's only had a couple of games. I don't know his fitness levels. Sometimes wish the club would tell us that, so people can calm down. But I'm worried about up front, because I didn't think we were that great up front last season, and we've weakened ourselves. Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're the only one, Andy. I think there's many of us that are concerned that we are lightweight up front at the moment. So look, let's see what happens in the coming days. Andy, thank you so much for coming on. It's lovely to see you as always, and the very best of luck with everything that you do this season. I hope it goes really well.
Can I just mention one more thing?
Of course, please.
Yeah, so we haven't launched it yet. We're waiting for the race night to be out the road, but basically. We want a big surfing flag at Pittodrie, and we want to give the fans the opportunity to have their names on it. So we've got some initial designs drawn up for that. It's going to be a cracker, and it's going to be £10 per entry.
Okay.
So it's like a crowdfunding type arrangement. Yeah. So we haven't launched it yet. I'm still sobering up from last night, so... We need to get sorted. I think we've got a meeting on Wednesday night, I think, this week, a committee meeting. So we're going to get going with that. And there are other initiatives that we're looking at as well, along the lines of a lottery type thing. We're still wanting to get going with merchandise. We've got the pin badge. Please buy a pin badge. Yeah. Only a £5, and the majority of that money goes to the Fans Project. So win-win situation. I know. Everybody's hard up. I see it, and I could see it with the race night. You know, but I thought we'd sell the place out pretty quickly. But listen, everybody that went played their part. But the other thing I want to mention, because I've done it myself, you can set up a monthly direct debit to Fans Project. We've got the bank account, had that in place for a while now. So I have myself set up a direct debit, and I've set up a £5 a month, right? So it could be £2 a month, whatever it is, whatever you can afford. Basically, it makes a difference over time. So that was a message I wanted to get out.
Okay, just out of if people want to buy the pin badges, where can they buy it from, Andy?
Club shop. Yeah.
Right, okay, super. All right, thank you for giving us all that information. And again, thank you for your brilliant work. And hopefully we will catch up again soon.
Okay, Alex, thank you.
Thanks, Andy. All the best.
And you.
Bye, mate.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Andy. Lovely to see you as always. So just to finish off this evening, don't forget, I'd be absolutely delighted if you'd please consider subscribing to the channel here on YouTube. We have reached a significant milestone since coming on air. We are now 4,500 subscribers in. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely over the moon. It's the perfect start to the season for me. It was my target to get to 4,500 and we've achieved that tonight. So thank you so much. The next milestone is obviously to get to 5,000 subscribers. Don't forget, it doesn't cost a single bean to subscribe. All you're basically doing is following the channel, very much like what you would be doing on social media. Right, just for the last couple of minutes or so, we will finish off with your final comments and then we'll wish you all a very good evening. Hugh Burns says, the striker situation is really embarrassing and it's a poor show by the club. It is worrying, Hugh, you're quite right. Leighton Bremner is predicting a 3-0 win for the Dons tomorrow, liking that a lot. Ryan Ellington says, the Fans Project does an absolutely brilliant job for doing things to get the fans involved. Keep up the brilliant work. JFlow23 says, no excuse for not having a striker. Had nearly 3 months to sort one out after it was confirmed we had European group football. Simon Roy says, bought the badge to support the Fans Project, which arrived yesterday. They do amazing work to enhance the matchday experience. Musical Box says, hopefully a replacement for Shayden Morris, who looked completely uninterested against Ipswich. Okay, guys, right. I think that is us. Yeah. Event Horizon simply says, still no striker. Risey says, come on, you Reds. Yeah, so let's leave it at that point. Right. So as you know, at this point, as we wish you a good evening, we always like to wish the lads the very best of luck for the game tomorrow night. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be tough. Weather conditions probably are going to play havoc, so that's not going to help. But I think if they apply the same sort of attitude and confidence and application like they did in the cup final, there's absolutely no reason why we can't come away with 3 points from Tynecastle. Yes, we all know how Derek is going to set up his stall against us. They're going to play a low block. It's going to be up to us to break it down. I think they're going to come at us. I think they're going to come at us quickly. But I have every confidence in the way we set up that we can nullify their attack. So it's just how we apply ourselves tomorrow night. And I really hope we can begin the season how we ended last season, on an absolute high. Because don't forget, we've got Celtic next Sunday, who I didn't think looked overly great today. They really huffed and they puffed their way to beat St Mirren in the end. And, you know, it was quite a fortuitous goal that eventually gave them the win. But I don't think they looked great. So, yeah. Now, don't forget, Europa League qualifying draw tomorrow, 10 o'clock UK time. And unfortunately, Andrew can't be with us for the review show. He's got an important event that he has to attend in Melbourne. But I will bring you a review show on Tuesday evening. So enjoy the next couple of days. Please stay safe if the storm does hit. Always stay safe, particularly if you're travelling. and I will see you again on Tuesday night. All the very best. Thank you so much for being on tonight. Nearly 200, which is absolutely phenomenal. I'm delighted that you're all here, and I really hope you enjoyed the New Look show as well. Take care. All the best. Stand free.